most important subject. Though it is the last, but it is not in any way least important. About the daily routine. What should be our daily routine? How we should plan our daily routine? What are the important things that we should keep in mind? Much will depend upon our daily routine. Just as it is said, take care of the pie and the routine will take care of itself. If you are very economic and you are meticulous about small details, then the big things will take care of themselves. That is the meaning of, the figurative meaning of this, take care of the pie, and the routine will take care of itself. If you are very particular that you should not lose a pie, you should economize, even one pie if you can economize, that is commendable. If you have this attitude, then very soon you will have rupees, because it is with only pies the rupees made. So in the same way, if you take care of the daily routine, if you take care of your days, then the life will take care of itself. The entire life will take care of itself. If you are very particular that every day must be fruitfully lived, must be meaningfully lived, and if you don't tolerate even waste of a day, or for the matter of that, waste of an hour, that is going to help us in building up our life. So therefore, this daily routine is very important. We have got very limited hours. A day means 24 hours. 24 hours. In that also there are certain hours which we have to earmark for rest and for the maintenance of our body and mind. So, in effect, we have very few hours. And therefore, the care one has to take attains more importance. As I said the other day, that we cannot increase the number of hours in a day, but by plugging the leakage, plugging the wastage, we can save hours which otherwise would have been lost. And by saving hours, we gain time. Money saved is money gained. If we save the wastage, that wastage is a positive gain. It's plugging of the wastage is a positive gain. So, the only way left to us to increase this quota of time is to plug wherever possible the wastage, the leakage, the unnecessary time that is wasted in useless things. There are certain time we spend that is a productive spending of time. That is productive consumption. Suppose we spend some time in taking exercise, doing yogasanas, and we spend time, half an hour we spend, but that spending is productive because though you have spent half an hour, that spending has stored energy, and that spending will enable you to work more. So therefore, that spending is productive. If you have spent some time in reading a very good book, that spending also is productive. If you calculate the consumption of time, then you will say it is consumed, it is spent. But if you look at the effect, overall effect, then you will have to admit that that spending is productive. So, everywhere there is productive spending. That spending is to be avoided, which is sheer wastage. You spend time and you don't get anything. You don't produce anything. That spending is called wastage. So this is the only way we can gain time, that is saving time, that is by stopping leakage, stopping wastage. And all our time and energy, that are the main ingredients, time and energy. If you don't spend time, waste time, that is desirable, and you don't waste your energy. You can spend your energy. You can spend your energy but not waste it. So, understand the difference between spending and wasting. An hour spent in reading a chapter in Gita is a productive spending, productive consumption. But if you are just with vacant looks, without any direction, if you spend your time, nothing to think about, no theme before you, simply you are looking at the sky, not even thinking in an organized way, that is a wastage. That is a wastage. If you spend time in gossiping, that is a wastage. So, if at all you spend in productive exercise. So, because we are aspiring to be karma yogins, we have said in our prayer, Nija Paramahitartham Karma Yogaika. We say that for our highest good, we have adopted or chosen path of karma yoga. Nija paramahitaर्थam karma yoga ikanishtam. So, our planning of daily routine should be work-oriented. Work-oriented. How much work we have put in a day, that is the measure. How much work we have put in. The output of work. Success or failure of the daily routine, whether you have achieved anything or not, will depend upon whether you have spent the time in work. That is what I mean by planning should be work-oriented. I again repeat what I said the other day, that of the four paths we have chosen the path of karma. There are four broad paths to attain one's highest good. The karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, and the raja yoga, or dhyana yoga, as you prefer to call it. Out of these four paths, you have deliberately chosen the path of karma, path of action, not of psychic control, not of knowledge, and not of bhakti. It doesn't mean that bhakti has no place in your life. Jnana has no place in your life. Or the dhyana has no place in your life. Because though these four paths are enumerated separately, in life they don't exist like watertight compartments. They don't exist. I always give the simile of these waters. At Kanyakumari you see the sheet of water. We have named the sheet of water on the east as the Bengal Sea, the sheet of water on the west as the Arab Sea, the sheet of water in the south as the Indian Ocean. For our understanding, we have named them separately. But in fact, it is one sheet of water. In the same way, these four paths, though one may make people understand, and for our own understanding, though we may name them, but in life, they are one whole. Where there is predominance of action, it is karma yoga. Where there is predominance of knowledge, it is jnana yoga. The name is given according to the element that predominates. For example, everyone possesses the three basic gunas, the rajas, the tamas, and the sattva. All the three gunas are present in everybody. You cannot come across a person who is unadulterated sattva guna, unadulterated rajaguna, unadulterated tamoguna. When you say that he is of a tamasic nature, it means that that particular element is the predominant element. When a person is lazy, is indolent, always feels like sleeping, dozing, no enthusiasm to act. No enthusiasm to act. Always feeling like remaining inactive. It is called the predominance of tamasic guna, tamoguna. A man who is bubbling with activity, he is up and doing. He wants to do this, he wants to do that, jumping here, jumping there, always up and doing, active. Activity incarnate. There we may say the Rajoguna is dominant. Therefore he may be called a Rajasic person. While the described first is a Tamasic person. And a person who is contemplative, mind works, even in his activity, his activity is not just meaningless activity, not simply jumping and bouncing, but it is in a particular way, always direction full. He may be called a sattvic person. That activity is not out of desires. I want this, I want that, I want that. But that activity comes out of higher values. Then that is the symptom of a sattvic man. I am illustrating this only to impress upon you that just as the sattvic and rajasic and tamasic, they are not found in unadulterated forms. A man is an admixture of all the three. One thing may be predominant, and in one's life, one thing may be predominant at an earlier stage, another thing may be predominant at a later stage, and some third quality may be predominant in the third stage. In one life it is possible. It can vary from stages to stages. But then a particular name is given only when that is predominant. So in the same way, when we talk of this Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga and Raja Yoga, that only means that what predominant thing you have chosen, predominantly what you want to do. You are taken to the path of karma means all the three, the Raja Yoga, the Bhakti Yoga and the Jnana Yoga, they will be subservient to this path of action. When you say that one is a karma yogin, that means all the three other yogas, in whatever form they are in his life, whatever degree they are in his life, they contribute towards the path of action. They are contributory. They are subservient to this path. They only help. Every element helps a man to be more active. If he is a karma yogi, then whatever element is in him, which is reflecting this Jnana Yoga or Raja Yoga or Bhakti, it is contributory to make him more active. A karma yogi doesn't mean that he never prays. He never prays. If anybody were to say that, well, if one is a karma yogi, then he has not to pray, he has not to contemplate, he has not to concentrate. He did not do yoga, he did not pray, he did not worship, or he need not philosophize, he did not go into the deeper meaning of things, because he is a karma yogi. You should do work only with hands and feet. It's not like that. It only means that a karma yogi, when he prays to get more strength to work and work on the right path. He is required to pray, but he prays for what? His prayer has this motivation. He uses the prayer to see that he is more induced to work. That prayer multiplies his energy to work and also keeps him on the right path. The function of prayer is this in the life of a karma yogi. In the life of a karma yogi, the function of prayer is this. By all means he will pray. But he will not simply pray and pray and pray and pray at the cost of action. At the cost of activity, he will not pray. He will pray. But he will see that his prayer is worship. It contributes towards his total strength to work. He gets more light to work in the right direction. It doesn't mean that a karma yogi will not meditate. He will have nothing to do with yoga exercises. He will have nothing to do with pranayama. He will have nothing to do with spiritual practices. No. He will use the spiritual practices because he has to work. So in order that he should work with intensity, he should be able to reflect more candid power in his work. He utilizes the yoga practices, he utilizes this all he learns through yoga and through Raja Yoga. That makes him concentrate, that gives him more strength, that gives him more steadiness, which is very much required for work. You can't work properly if your mind is distracted. So the Chittavritti Nirodha in yoga, that is very much necessary for putting in solid, substantial work. So, he will utilize this yoga, all the practices, to steady his mind, because with steady mind alone he can work efficiently. He can get excellence in work only with a steady mind, only if he achieves an equilibrium, the equanimity of mind, which is possible with the mind trained in yogic way. So, this Raja Yoga also has a place in Karma Yogi's life. Raja Yoga is used for making him more active, more alert, more effective. So the prayer, that means devotion, bhakti. And this yoga or the concentration or the contemplation, which means this Raja Yoga, that also is helpful to Karma Yoga. And the Jnana Yoga, getting at the root of things, best way one want to taste knowledge is metaphysics. You don't get superficial knowledge. When a certain things come before you, when you go deeper and get at the bottom of the things, the source, that is, you tread the path of Jnana Yoga. If you are habituated to go in search of deeper meaning of things, that is your habit of mind. That is very much necessary for Karma Yoga. That is very much necessary for a Karma Yogi. Then alone he can show excellence, perfection, precision. If it is a superficial thinking, if he just gets a judgment, just see for things, he sees and makes a verdict or comes to a decision and comes to tell his mind that this is this, this is that, he will fail miserably in life. When he thinks deeper, when he understands things in his proper perspective, if he has that habit of mind, somebody says something, immediately you have your judgments. If you are habituated to think like this, then you will land in disaster. So, going into the deeper meaning of things, taking everything in proper perspective, that is needed for a Karma Yogi. So, this Jnana Yoga, this Bhakti Yoga, and this Raja Yoga is very, very much necessary for a Karma Yogin, but he practices them not for their sake, but for the sake of Karma Yoga. He practices them, utilizes them to see that he is able to work more efficiently, correctly. It's more effective. That is the role of the other three yogas in his case. Suppose if one is a Karma Yogi and he meditates, and suppose his meditation makes him allergic to work. The more he meditates, every day he meditates. By meditating, he is becoming allergic to work. That means there is something wrong in his meditation, drastically wrong in his meditation. If he has chosen the path of karma, if he has chosen the path of action, then when he meditates, his meditation must be productive. And what is productive? For him, what is productive? It must give him more strength to work. If half an hour's meditation, if the person is full of energy and he feels like working with all the enthusiasm, that meditation, that sort of meditation, that kind of meditation is alone useful for him. Because he is a Karma Yogi, he has chosen the path of karma. If suppose you do yogasanas and you find that the yogasanas is putting you, lulling you to sleep, there is something seriously wrong with the yogasanas. How is it? You have done Sadhana, you have done this, you have done that. Now you are bubbling with enthusiasm and you feel sleepy. There is something seriously wrong with your emotions. You do some thinking, contemplating. That is, you tread the path of Jnana Yoga, you tread the path of Raja Yoga. That should contribute towards your total activity. Well, you can pray. You pray to God. You be in communion with God. And when you are in communion with God, that gives you light, in the light of which you get confidence on the path of action. So, if you are a karma yogi, your prayer also must lead you to work and work and work. Your contemplation, thinking, cogitation, that also must lead you to work and work and work. Everything must help you to put in more work. That is the only test. If you meditate for half an hour today, then you feel like meditating for 2 hours, then you feel like meditating for 3 hours, don't call yourself a karma yogi. You are not a karma yogi. You are not chosen that path. You are confused. If you are a karma yogi, then just a meditation, half an hour's meditation should be enough. Because you don't have time to spend in other things. You are choosing the path of karma yoga. So that half an hour should be a condensed thing, should be a capsule-like thing. That should give you enough strength. Your prayer, your meditation and all the other things of the other yogas, they should be properly tailored, properly apportioned. If you are true to your path. I many times give the example. Just as in our meals, we take sambar. What is the proportion in sambar? Dal, water and salt. What is it? What is the proportion of salt and dal and water? The bulk of it is dal and water and a little of salt. But little of salt, what it does? Though it is very little, it flavors the whole sambar. It gives taste. It gives taste. It pervades. So, the proportion of meditation and contemplation and prayer and all these things should be like this. In the life of a karma yogi, the action, the work must be in the proportion of dal and water. And your communion with God, your meditation, should be just like that salt. It may be little, but it flavors the whole life, whole daily routine. As if in a harmonium when you play, there is a keynote. There is a note at the back. There's a background. So all your activities, behind it, at the back of your mind, in the morning when you start your day and have the communion with God, whether we do through meditation or prayer, or all the 23.5 hours, that will remain in your mind. That will keep you on the right path. That will never allow you to lose your moorings. That is the purpose of that meditation or that communion. So, if you lose proportions, you will be neither here nor there. Choose your path. If you have chosen this path, then all planning should be work-oriented. A man is work-oriented, and if somebody comes to meet you, and if he is to be told that now you are in worship room, now you are meditating, now you are worshipping, he is not properly on his path. Your worship, your meditation, everything will be over before the world gets up. Before the world gets up, nobody should see you meditating. Nobody should see you worshipping. Get up early in the morning. If you know that the world gets up at 7 o'clock, then you get up at 3 o'clock or 3:30 or 4, according as you require time. Finish your morning duty, take your baths, do your yogasanas, have your prayer, have your communion with God, and be ready at 7 o'clock to receive the world. That is the life of a Karma. And if every time people come and they are to be told that now he is doing this part, he is doing meditation, he is doing puja, that is not desirable. So, a genuine karma yogi, he will accordingly plan his timetable, because he is more concerned with the world, the people. He should be always ready to meet them. He should always be ready to meet them. For work, all his time is free. And therefore, his own the time for his maintenance, the intellectual maintenance and the spiritual maintenance of mind and the maintenance of inner being, that should be done before the world gets up, between Brahma Muhurta and 7 o'clock. That is how it is a must for a social worker like ours to get up early in the morning at the Brahma Muhurta. You cannot think of any other start of the day. Get up early in the morning. The day you get up late, you have committed a sin. You have done something which doesn't befit you, doesn't become you. Start your day, small hours of the morning, not even early, small hours of the morning. And finish your maintenance of the inner being, because whole of the day you have to work, and that you don't go astray, that you don't lose yourself in the crowd, you don't lose your moodings. Therefore, early in the morning, take care. Remember what you are, what you are going to do, how you conduct your affairs. So this I call the maintenance of your inner being. Just as you get up early in the morning and brush your teeth and wash your mouth, there is a film of oily thing accumulated on your face. There is a thin film of dirt accumulated on your teeth. You brush your teeth, you wash your mouth, you take your bath, change your garments. This is your bodily maintenance. In the same way, for your maintenance of the inner being, pray. That means be in communion with God. Forget the entire world. Forget the entire world. Forget everything. Forget all your surroundings. As if you are transported, and you and your Creator, they are the only beings relevant to you. Be in communion. And that communion should make you firm on the path. You know where you are, what for you are, what role you have to play in this world. Confirm your role. Yes, this is my role. This is for what I have done upon this earth. I have to conduct my affairs like this. Remind yourself and be up for the day. You are starting the day and you are ending the day. Must between these two prayers, your whole day should be brought in. When you start the day and when you end your day, when you go to bed. When you start the day, you pray. And at the end of the day, yes, you have satisfaction that this day has been lived by me in a way I wanted. Have a satisfaction. With that satisfaction, as if thankful to the Almighty that you have been kept on the right path and you have given a good account of your day. I am not faltered. There are no defaults. I have given a good account of the day. If you can have this satisfaction while going to bed, well, that is the day well lived. Take care of the day and life will take care of itself. Every day take care, in the morning and the night. Compact the day within two pairs. Compact the day within two pairs. Half an hour, 15 minutes, doesn't matter. As I said, condense it. If you are overworked, if you have a load of work, make it in a capsule form, 5 minutes. If you can forget the world only for 5 minutes, you forget all that you see around, forget the Vivekananda Kendra, forget your relatives, forget your friends, forget the entire world, and just be in the silence of your heart. You and your Creator. You and the eternal bliss. In relation with that, what you are. Be in that blissful silence. Even for 5 minutes. Those 5 minutes will give flavor to your life. Day's life. After all, how much salt you need? Just a pinch. It is enough. If it has intensity. So, this is how a karma yogi who wants to lead the life of activity, who has chosen karma yoga as the path of God realization, path of attaining the highest good. This should be the way he should start life. If you start like this, if you succeed in making this routine, starting early in the day, whatever may be the time for you to sleep, it may be 10, it may be 11, it may be 12, don't worry about it. You habituate, you will find that this body has immense capacities. Don't go by these common theories that, well, you require this much rest, you require this much food, that much food, this much carbohydrate, this much protein, this much, all nonsense. It may be strange for a crowd of people, not for you. Sometimes people give a special theory, well, you must, in order that if you do work, you must have good proteins, you must have this much fat, this much carbohydrate, this much, all proportions given. Well, if it is true, I say, if you can eat any dish that comes before you, with cheer, then anything that is served before you, if you can eat with joy, thinking Annam to be Brahman, when that will contain all the proteins. That will contain all the proteins. You don't have to search for proteins. That will keep you all right. So, what I mean to say that the normal theories, they may have relevance in the life of others. Those who have this idealism, those who have dedicated themselves to God and society, those who live for a purpose, those who are God intoxicated, Those who are ideally intoxicated, for them these rules have no relevance. The only thing that matters is what is your attitude, what delight you feel, how far you have control your tongue, how far you have control your palate. So, you start the day properly. You may sleep at 12 o'clock, but early in the morning at the kids' hour you must get up. And with this idea that nothing is going to harm your health, you feel confidence. Doctors may tell you, other people may also tell you. Don't be theory. But remember, man has tremendous potentialities. He can overcome all these normal use. Some people will say that a man requires this much calories. How can a person live like this? Once I give you an incident. Once Mr. Golwalkar, he came to Calcutta. I was in Calcutta then. So people wanted me to take Guruji Golwalkar to a doctor, a very renowned doctor at Calcutta. And somehow get him properly medically examined. And then if you can tactfully arrange, he should tell certain things to Guruji so that he can accordingly be amenable to certain diet and certain things which the people wanted him to follow. So when he came to Calcutta, I had fixed with the doctor earlier, and I said that you arrange tea in your house. And I would say that quite a very useful man wants you for tea. So let us go to his house and have some good time with him. So he readily agreed. We went to his house. There was chit chat, some talk here and there. The tea was served, and then lot of things we had. In the course of the conversation, doctor talked to him about many things, about health, about how he should keep himself in good health. What are the precautions he should take, etc. We have met subject with doctors. Then after we left, the doctor called me the next day. Then I came the next day to him, what is his diagnosis, what he would like to prescribe. So he asked me that you tell me what he eats, what is his diet, how many times he eats, and if you are very close to him, then you can tell me how many chapatis he eats, how much rice he takes, how many cups of tea he takes. then in every cup of tea, how many spoons of sugar he takes, all very details he asks. Because I was very close to him. I had many opportunities to observe his daily routine. So I told him that he gets up early in the morning. Then when he takes tea in the morning at 5 o'clock, then after when he takes his bath and everything, and when people come, when time for other people to take tea, so along with others he takes tea in the morning. So twice he takes tea. One cup in the morning, one at about 7:30 or 8 now when people take breakfast, he only takes tea. Then meals. So how much meals he, how much chapatis he takes, how much rice he takes. And I told him that he takes maybe sometimes two, if the chapatis are little bigger, it's two, otherwise he may take three. And how much rice. All I gave a very truthful description. Then he was writing something. Then he said, and then in the night, I said he doesn't take anything. He said, does he take nothing? He takes nothing, and nothing. Then, but I said yes, he takes a cup of tea. He goes to meet his mother every day when he is here. So he has to take tea with her. So that he continues even when he is too. So he takes a cup of tea in the evening after his dinner. So he calculated. He said, by the way, for how many years he is having this diet? I said, according to my calculation, I am seeing him like this for the last 15 years. So you say, if it is 15 years he is doing like this, then medically he is long dead. Medically speaking, then this person is long before dead. I said, he may be medically dead, but he is very much living and kicking. So these things, how many calories a man requires, and if man is to live for many years, then he must have this much calories of food, value food. You try the meaning. I don't say that all medical science is myth, but you never forget that there is something different in the human being, and all the medical sciences make out and explain to you. So if you have got the will, and if you so make a habit of mind, habit of body, with all habit. I have seen people who live just over 2 cups of coffee for years. 2 cups of coffee. They don't eat it. And they are perfectly working day and night without any difficulty, doing all household work. So, you remember that if you have this habit, if you cultivate that habit, you will gain that strength, you will get that capacity. So it depends upon how do you cultivate that habit. You decide what you should do, how much you will have, and accordingly you cultivate the habit and you will find that it works nicely. We were talking about the daily routine. Yesterday the subject that we dealt with was we should compact the daily quota of work between the two prayers or two meditations, as you would prefer to call them. One as soon as we get up after bath, and other at the close of the day while we go to bed. Actually, these two prayers or these two meditations control the working of the day. In the beginning, we prepare ourselves for the day, and at the end, we take a sort of stock taking. If it is done not mechanically but meaningfully, every day, afresh, it will help us in our elevation. This topic I dealt with extensively yesterday. And in that correction, what should be the proportion for our meditation and the other activities, that also I tried to explain to you. There is nothing like a separate sadhana. Some people say sometimes that we must give some time to sadhana, and the rest of the day should be utilized for work. Where work itself is sadhana, there is no necessity for a separate sadhana. If you really work with attitude of sadhana, what is your attitude? I have explained to you many times. If the entire work of the day is done with an attitude of sadhana, then there is no necessity of following a particular course or a sadhana. What meditation that we do in the morning and in the night, you may call it sadhana if you want, but that is something which contributes to your daily work. That is only communion with your Creator. So, you may call it sadhana if you want. But then, because the whole day's work is sadhana, this meditation also is a part of it and need not be mentioned separately. So, along with this, I also yesterday tried to impress upon you that and tremendous capacity in our mental apparatus. This human being can put in a lot of work, both physical and mental. What actually we use is very infinitesimal, a fraction of it. We do not actually utilize all our energies, both physical and mental. We are capable of perhaps 10 times more, 100 times more, even the physical work that we do. We are capable of doing it 10 times more. But even doing it, part of it, we feel that, oh, we have done our work, we are tired. We can put in far more work than we are habituated to do. In the same way, our intellectual apparatus is designed for a lot of work. We read for a while, we think for a while, and we feel that, well, we are exhausted. I came across a person in Kerala. He had no hands. From the very beginning he had no hands. When he was born without hands. And he had only legs. You will not believe if I tell you that he has no hands and he is a chief accountant. He is chief accountant in a big hotel. How is an accountant? He has no hands. He writes with his leg and takes his pen in this thumb and the adjacent finger. And in this, catching the pen in these two fingers, he writes. And his leg writing is far beautiful than the handwriting of ours. And with speed. When he sits in his chair, there are shelves, ledgers, notebooks, registers. He doesn't require the help of hands. Everything he does with legs. With the smartness, you take a particular drawer, you draw it and take a register. He does it with the leg. He takes it, drawer is open. He with one leg, using one leg, only this one thumb and the fourth finger, the adjacent finger, he takes out the register and scans the pages like this, not with hand, with leg. It is a sight to see. He has so trained his legs. These two legs do the work of two legs and also do the work of two hands. I had gone there to see only how he functions. Only to see him I went to a hotel where he is working as a chief accountant. Then I thought, well, he may have trained himself in writing and all that. Let me see how he conducts other affairs. So when we were chit-chatting, the tea came, and I was just wondering how he is going to take his tea. But when the tea came, we took tea, and he also just the ear of the cup. He caught hold of the ear of the cup, and he could bring his leg straight here, as if that leg is an omnibus going anywhere. It can go here, it can go there, it can go anywhere, it can go to the mouth. He took tea with us most graciously. Just like an elephant's trunk, it can go here, it can go there. And he could shave with his leg. Just as we shave with our safety razor, he could shave with safety razor in leg, not in hand. So while we left the place, I ultimately asked him one question. We have seen what you can do Almost everything you can do what we with hands can do. Now I would like to ask you one secret. What is it that you cannot do? Because every thing that we are doing, we find that you are also doing. So now tell us the secret, what you cannot do. He said, yes, there is a secret. I cannot tie my clothing. Somebody has to tie it. The only thing that I cannot do is I cannot tie my clothing. I take my bath, I take everything, I take my shave, I comb my hair, I take my food with spoon, held with the help of the leg. Everything I do. I write, I scan the pages, I can open any page in a moment, everything I can do. The only thing that I can do is this, I cannot tie my clothing. Somebody has to do it. What a man can do, what is this physical frame capable of? It's all a question of habit. So, don't labor under this impression, this illusion. Well, how can I do this? How can I do that? How it is possible? This physical frame is capable of tremendous work. It depends upon you what shape you want to give it. The same, this intellectual apparatus, tremendous energy. It can work for hours without getting exhausted. The physical frame also can work for hours without getting exhausted. The only thing that you have to give it a proper training, and for that also you must have the will to do so. And whether it is climate, whether it is food, in all matters, you must be able to throw a challenge that, well, you send me anywhere, any climate, any place, I will adjust myself. I have this adaptability that if I go to Ganges, I will be Gangadas. If I go to Jamna, I will be Jamnadas. I will take that color and be one with the people there. This all these habits. If anybody says, if at some place, somebody sometimes says, I will say, I can't sleep without a cot. How can I sleep on a floor? This is not imaginary. A life worker himself once complained to me that, well, I have to sleep there on a floor. On a floor I never slept. I always am accustomed to sleep on a cot. So the whole night I could not sleep because there was no cot. What a slavery it is. If you are going to be a slave of these habits, then how can you pull on with various situations? So this ability to transform oneself according to the needs of the time. Man can transform himself. Man is such a creature. God has given him such an adaptability that at least he cannot say that I cannot change. He can change from one thing to another. He can from one world to another. He can travel and he can change and he can take any form. There is a story told about a lioness and about a lamb. A lioness, while once she was in search of a victim, she pounced upon a lamb, and while she cut hold of, that gave birth to a child. So she found that kid was very pretty to look at. So she had also given birth to many kids a couple of days back. So she thought that this kid is also good to look at. So let me take this kid home. It can be a good playmate for my kids. So she took that kid home. And the kids of the lioness and this lamb, they grew together. They began to grow together. These lioness's kids they grew faster, and they then used to go in search of prey, in search of food. So this lamb also used to follow. So for some days it was all right, because these kids, they were not able to catch hold of a big prey. But when these kids became little bigger, then once no energy loss, you don't feel, you don't lose your breath. As if you can talk, you can sing while swimming. And you find there is a grace. When good swimmers, efficient swimmers swim, well, it is a sight to see. There is grace. Those who are efficient, whether they sing, whether they talk, whether they do other things, they do it efficiently. At the same time, you find that there is a grace. You feel like seeing it. You feel like witnessing it. So, when there is efficiency, you acquire grace and thereby save time. So, effort to gain efficiency, gain grace. Just as here you see that every lazy moment is not allowed to come in your life. Both ways, in every possible way, you see that the energy is gained, your time is gained, and in that you should be very introspective. Whatever you are doing, for example, I find people doing yogasanas. In the morning they do some yogasanas. Wherefore, they do yogasanas to store up their energy. To store up their energy, to make the muscles work properly, efficiently. That is why they do yogasanas. That is the function of yogasanas. That is function of yoga. They do meditation, they do pranayam, they do this, they do that, and as soon as they come out, then they sleep. Exhausted. Why are you exhausted? Why are you exhausted? Oh, he has done yogasanas. Well, yogasanas are there to store up your energy. If you get exhausted, and if the first thing that overpowers you is the sleep, then there is something seriously wrong with your yogasana. Something seriously, gravely wrong with your sadhana. Yoga is made, yoga is taught, yogasanas are done to store up your energy. Therefore, whatever you do with an intention to make your body effective, make your mind effective. See whether it is getting effective or not. Otherwise, look back and find out what is wrong with it. You must introspect The things which are supposed to give one result, if they give absolutely totally different result, then there is something wrong with your way of doing it. So, you might have very rightly decided that I shall, early in the morning I shall do Vipassana. And I shall do meditation, I shall do this, I shall do that. For what purpose? You are doing it because you know that this apparatus that God has given us, through which we have to work out our destiny, it must be kept fit. It becomes more and more fit. It is a dynamo, it is a generator. This generator must generate energy. It must give the desired result. And for that purpose you decide that you will do Vipassana in the morning, you will do this, you will do that, whatever programs you decide. If the purpose is this, and rightly we have to decide about this. For our body, well, we have to see that you do Vipassana every day. It is for keeping the body fit. To keep your mind fit, your intellect fit, you do sadhana. It will work on the proper lines. Sadhana is necessary for your intellect, for your intellectual apparatus. Every day there must be some sadhana. Sadhana means reading things which remind you of higher values. Sadhana is not reading the detective novel. Sadhana is not just reading newspaper. Sadhana is not reading a timetable. Sadhana means you engross yourself in some thought, in some reading, which reminds you of higher values in life. So, scriptures you read, Gita you read, Upanishad you read. That is sadhana. So for intellect, sadhana is there. For the body, there is little sharir charcha, as it is called, yogasanas, maybe half an hour. Whatever is fruitful for you, useful for you. And then also, you know that you are not just body and mind. You are not just body, mind and intellect. Or your mind just as you have done some pranayam or little meditation and some other exercises by which you try to steady your mind. Because to train the mind, it means nothing but trying to steady the mind. So for the steadying of the mind, for developing the energy of the body, for sharpening the intellect, to put the intellect on the right track, because these are your instruments. If the instruments are alright, then you can work effectively. So, without any compunction, we take very much compunction on our body. We take pity on ourselves. Oh, we should not, I exerted today, I have too much exerted. What work I have done? I am working from 10 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the evening. Too much exerted. I must have a cup of coffee. I must have this, I must have this. Taking too much compunction on it. We ourselves are the judge. And we ourselves decide that we should do this, we should do that. So, this body, this mind is capable of immense work. We do not give it 1/10 of what it can. Never forget this. The work that we are taking from our body and mind and intellect, if you think that, oh, we are overworked, man is never overworked. Man is never overworked. nobody will overwork. Because he always underworks. When he says he is overworking, he is far underworking. He has not given full scope for all the potentialities to become better. So don't be under this illusion that you are overworking and you are overstraining. Get out from that myth, that illusion. Body is capable of immense work. It has immense potentiality. Mind also immense potentiality. When you read for some time, when you think for some time, sometimes you say that, oh, I have sufficiently taxed my brain. Brain is never taxed. Brain is never taxed. You see, if you use your intellect, don't think that by using intellect it is consumed. When you use intellect, it is sharpened. When you use your knowledge, suppose a man says that I have been teaching and giving knowledge, so I have given all knowledge, now I am bankrupt. Because I have given. Knowledge when it is given, it increases. From one lamp you light another lamp. So have you, that particular flame has gone reduction. There are certain things which when they are given, they are increased. Intellect is one. You use your intellect, it is never consumed. There is no consumption, there is no reduction. Use your intellect, it is sharpened. It is doubled. It is multiplied. So all these very funny ideas, first you must get rid of. And first understand that this body is a giant body. This mind is a giant mind. It can do wonders. And I must give full scope of this body and mind to stretch as far as it can. So, with this clear conception of reality, you chalk out the plan. As I said, without compunction. I remember a friend of mine, in my school days, we used to go to Akhada for wrestling. So I used to go to my friend's house to wake him up in school days. So when I went to his house, then the mother used to come and tell me, why are you waking him up? Let him sleep. Every day you are coming and taking him. So ultimately we had to decide that I should avoid the mother and somehow make arrangements so that he could be awakened. The mother takes very compunction on the child. Oh, how nice he looks, sleeping. And now you are going to wake him up and take him outside in this cold. Mother taking compunction on the child, I can understand, but when you take compassion upon yourself, that is something will be disastrous. So therefore, without taking any compunction upon yourself, on the contrary, see that you are not given any chance for the body to show its capacity. I will give all chances, all opportunities I will give. In this way should be your attitude. And then you talk about your time. So naturally, you will decide upon the hour when you have to get up. Get up from bed. And you will be able to, you can say that now you have
won that battle over your sleep, when you find that if there is a timepiece and alarm is there, after some time alarm also is not necessary. You exactly at that hour you get up. I tell you from my own experience. You decided you have to get up at 4 o'clock and you get up at 4 o'clock. No timepiece is necessary. But this is a sign that when you wake up, you don't roll in bed for 5 minutes. You are at once vertical. Then you find yourself going to the left, going to the right, sitting, lying down, sitting, with blanket sitting, taking out blanket. These asanas when you do, then you consider that you have not reached that stage. When as soon as your eyes open and you immediately wake up, you are vertical, you immediately fold your blanket, you take out your curtain, roll your bed and start working. That means now you have achieved some sort of control over your sleep. So, you decide about the hour when you have to get up. And mind, before the world gets up, all your morning duties must be over. Morning duties include the washing the mouth and brushing and all that thing, this bath and everything, and at the same time, your attention to your body, your mind, your intellect, and also the inner being. What is called, what sometimes people call it sadhana. It is not sadhana. Don't call it sadhana. Sadhana is different, I will tell you. Self-communion or communion with God, communion with your original self. I may put it like this. It is very necessary, I will tell you why. You see, you have to take care of your body, you have to take care of your mind. For that, yogasanas are there, little meditation is there, little sadhya is there. But every day before you are out for work, you must spend few minutes for your communion with your original self. I won't go into intricacies. Just like the other day I told you, what is that original self? You just try to discover. Before you came upon this earth, if my age is 54 years old, so 64 years before I was not in this world, sure. And if I am going to continue this pilgrimage for 5 years or 10 years or 2 years or 2 months, after that I am not going to be here. That is the case with everybody. Just think, when I was not in flesh and blood, when I was not this particular body. Surely I was not this, but I was. I was before and I am going to be after. This is not the be all and end all of life. This is just a sojourn. I just to come here as a pilgrim. This is the place of pilgrimage for some time, maybe certain years, certain period. Before I came here, I was there, and when I leave this world, I shall be there. what is that I? Who is that I who is going to be there even after death, and who was there even before birth? Try to be one with that I. You put it in simple terms and tell me. Try to be one with that I. Try to be yourself. Try to remember yourself. Try to take you back from this life. Try to take you forward. Go into the past. Go into the future. In fact, it is not past and future also. You go into that which is always there. It was and it is to be. So with that original self, real self, the real I, you try to be one with it. And then you will find that all things lose relevance. This building loses relevance. All your friends lose relevance. All your Vivekananda Kendra loses relevance. Your country loses relevance. Your world loses relevance. And you transcend everything. Try to transcend everything. This is what I call communion with yourself. Communion with God you may take. It depends upon how you look at things and what you name them. You may call it Ishvara Pranidhana, the familiar word in yoga. So, this we have to do. It is difficult, I tell you. It is difficult, but if you can do it, even a few seconds, if you get even a few flashes, one single flash, a trace, that is enough. For getting that trace,
we should unpack the whole day's work in the beginning. I told that day begins, you must have this physical maintenance. You brush your teeth and all, you take bath and clean your body and all that physically. Same way, you have the maintenance of your inner being. That's why I said significant of prayer. That prayer is the thing, but measure, step to see that or look after the maintenance of your inner being. Prayer in the morning and prayer in the night. Almost these are the regular items in your daily routine, which you should never miss. In the same way, prayer is a bit spiritual business, but before you go to bed, you must write your diary. While you pray, you are in different place. But on the ordinary plane, what you have done during the day, you write your diary. Not that you have to write extensively about all the things that you have done during the course of the day, but important items, at what time you got up, whether you had your prayer, whether you had your physical exercise, that is yogasanas and all that. Who are the persons whom you met? Which are the places you visited? All the atoms in the day, atoms of God. You have a sort of stock taking. Right? Whatever you have to write about it. Do not elaborate it. But you must know the landmarks in your day. all the persons that you met, you must remember. Put down in the line whom you have met. And if a sentence is identified, otherwise there may be many persons who will choose. So, the diary writing will help you in discovering yourself. So, when you scan your diary after a year or two, or 3 years, 4 years, you go back, it makes a very fruitful reading. Then if you want to write to somebody, he has met you before, if you are able to say that, when I met you last, you do not remember, the diary will tell you when you met him, what place you met him. These are very important things in life. So, you see that you get into this habit of writing diary. Before you go to bed, instead you don't miss your prayer, the same way you don't miss writing your diary. The diary, naturally, all the expenditure you made during the day is an important part of it. It is not only of events, but also the graphic picture of what you spent, how you spent your time, how you spent your money. You will not be able to carry your diary, daily diary, in your pocket book. Always have a small little notebook, which is always, so that if you spend money, remember it, immediately put it down. If you take a ticket, put it on the number. So that you are precise. You don't unnecessarily put pressure on your memory. What you spend, you put it down immediately. No question of I will remember in the night. You immediately put it down because you have got a concept, you have got a ball pen, you have got a small notebook ready. Always you must study these two things. Small notebook, your small pen, comforting whatever it is, and your kneeback. It must be a part of your body, it must be a leaf of your body. Because if you lose your money back, you will not be able to recognize. You are going here and there. The money bag must be a part of your body itself. Otherwise, you are likely to be deprived of it. Suppose you go to the house, they ask you to come and you put your shirt out and go inside for meal. You come out and see that your money bag is gone. Either you can tell it to the host that my money bag was there, if I am going inside and taken away my salary. The host will arrest. Neither you can tell it to your host, but you are lost it. My first experience when I left my home, when I lost my money, once in life I was very innocent. I prayed with my money. I got a letter from him. So I showed the letter. So he said, all right, welcome. I went inside. I had put my hands. And he asked me to come to my meals. At the time, is was to take out his shirt and then go inside. And this shirt was supposed to take out his shirt. So I went inside, took me. When I was surprised, I found that my was missing my shirt. When I returned, I had absolutely no income. It really embarrassed me. I could not tell it to the host. Because he would say, this fellow has come, he has taken his meals, he is my guest, and now he says that he has lost his money bag. So, and he may say that my servants, they are not thieves. So, unnecessarily would be suspicion in the mind of the host regarding his servants, who must have taken it. So that is an additional embarrassment. So what to do? In fact, since then, I had this sort of this for my money bag, this for my notebook, this for my hand. Since then, since 1939, I have this design map so that I may go anywhere, I may sleep in a train, but at least my notebook, my money bag, and my container will be this. Even if I am deprived of everything, I will not be in a such a position that I can go anywhere. I have got money. In fact, because of this, once I had a very interesting experience. Because I used to keep this money bag here, and this notebook here, and this container here. Once in the train, early morning, the breakfast time, the parent came with tea, and I was taking tea for breakfast. So my co-passenger, he was also talking to me, he also started some conversation. And then he was a Hindu, a good Brahmin. I could see it from his forehead mark. He started talking about Jesus Christ, talking about Bible, talking about Sermon on the Mount, talking about all the incidents in Bible. So I was wondering, why is talking about something so much interesting Bible? So then the conversation stopped. Then after some time, I wanted to read, so I opened my Gita book. How did you read? So he came near me and said, "Oh, you read this also?" I said, "What?" I said, "It's very good." Then you don't read Bible? I said, "Well, Bible I have read. I was a student of a Christian school. I was a student in a Christian college. So therefore I have read Bible, I have appeared for examinations, and that is how I come to know about Bible." But then you are Christian. I said, "What? How do you don't do the repeated as a Christian?" "Oh, you are not Christian." Then I understood why he was talking to me about this Jesus and about Bible and all that. And as a matter of fact, he thought that being a Christian, how this man reads this and how does he find interest in it? Then he asked still more questions. Then I asked him, why is it that how did you come to this conclusion at all? Then I realized, in that time I had not realized. You see, while sleeping, I have formed this habit So when I sleep in the train, go to the bed, then I just feel whether my notebook is there, whether my money bag is there, and whether my condom is there. So when I do like this, so she thought that I am doing the cross. So as a good Christian, beautifully I make that sign of cross and then sleep. So that is how he arrived at his conclusion that I am a Christian. Anyway, so if you want, because life purpose, he has to travel, he has to go from place to place, he has to visit places, he has to be somebody's guest today, somebody's guest tomorrow. So, therefore his notebook, his pen and his money bag, it should be just as if they are the limbs of the body. You never part company with them. So this is the significance of writing a diary. Then you don't have to depend much on your memory for writing accounts. Writing accounts is the most important thing in social worker's life. If you are not very meticulous about your accounts, you are infactable. You must be able to account for every pie. And that is possible only when you write what you spend. And don't depend too much upon your memory. Otherwise, I know some people, they are not in the habit of writing accounts every day. And every time that they spend, they don't have this habit. So what they do, at the end of the month, when there is a reminder from the headquarters that we are not sent your accounts, months have passed, then he is awakened, oh, I have to write accounts. Then, how do they write accounts? Then you think that, well, I received 200 rupees, then another 200 rupees I received, 400 rupees I have spent. Now I have only 50 rupees. So 380 rupees must have been spent. So how I must have spent it? So then you start reconstructing the accounts. Go back in the reverse. You reconstruct accounts. Then of course I must have taken meals. So for meals, so what we pay to the mess? So 120 rupees we pay to the mess, yes, 120 rupees. Then do we iron our clothes? Oh, that must have done. I must have taken a shave. I must have had a haircut. And then once I went to that place, so I have to go by bus. I have to go by train. What was the train fare? You all remember. Go back 2 months, and till the time they are not, the total sum comes 380 rupees. You go on scratching the head. And then thinking that, well, all these days I must have taken tea. Yes, I must have taken tea. So put some more on 1 rupee per tea or 2 rupees per tea. Just reconstructing the accounts. This is not the way to keep accounts. It is not the way of social work. The account is the lifeline of social work. If he keeps his accounts well, if he is in the habit of keeping his personal accounts, then he will also be able to keep his accounts well, whether he looks after any project or manages any big concern, any big establishment. So this writing of a diary that serve this purpose also. Because when you write a diary, not only you write different important events in the day, but you also write the accounts. Only you have to, the notebook you have got, your pocket notebook, from the pocket notebook you have to put down all those 3-4 items that you might have spent and then during the course of the day. So, just as your 2 prayers were the permanent items on your daily routine, this is a 3rd item, which is a permanent item. Writing a diary. Writing a diary. Everything there. Should be a mirror of all your activities in the day. You may forget, the diary will tell you whom you have met last week, at what time you have met. If you have to write letters, you will find out what is the address, whom I met, at what time I met, where I met. Along with this, there are certain things which the social worker cannot escape. Any work that you do, these days, any work, any service work that you do, there you have to acquire the capacity to present your views. You cannot think of any social work, any service work where you can very well dispense it. Because you have some thought which makes you work, which inspires you, some ideal. And number of occasions will come when you have to present that thought. So presentation with the capacity to present, you will never be able to escape. So you must be well versed in the art of presentation. In the same way, the administration, when you start work, as you become a little senior, the first responsibility that will come upon your head is the administration. Because when you become senior, then there are 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 persons. Then when 7 persons are there doing the job, if you are called upon to coordinate them, take work from them, to guide them, there comes the administration, there comes the execution. Time may come, or there may be initial stage when you have to work. You have to work physically, you have to work intellectually. But a stage will soon come when you have to take work from others. Not only you work, but you have to take work from others. And while taking work from others, we have to coordinate them. Not only this human coordination of different souls, different people with different temperaments, with different works. Because as the work goes, then the work is defined in departments. People are put in charge of departments. Then the coordination of departments, coordination of people, their integration with the population, all this involves administration, public relations. So, you think of a social worker and he must be an administrator. He has to be an administrator. You must acquire executive capacity. management of us. So, a worker, he has to present ideas. When he has to present ideas, naturally, that is also a particular quality. One may know a thing, but in order to expound it, in order to present it before the people, that is a special qualification. It is a science, it is an art that one has to master. That means he has to master languages. Automatically it comes. When you talk of presentation means what language? This country is full of many languages. Nobody can think of this depending upon one language. Well, Kannada is my mother tongue, Tamil is my mother tongue, I will only have my Tamil in Tamil. There is no Tamil. Any number of languages if you know, that will be an asset to you, or any social work. If you know a number of languages, you will find that it will create an asset. You go anywhere, you feel at home. And anybody comes to you, he feels at home. You see here in Kannadwari when people come from different provinces, some Punjabi comes, you talk to him Punjabi, he will be so glad. Somebody comes here from Bengal, you talk to him Bengali. 50% of all his problems will go. Immediately find that there is somebody to understand and converse with. So wherever you go, be it the dialect or the language of that particular state you know, you come the royal path of success immediately. So, the presentation, the art of presentation is a must for a worker. Naturally, as a corollary, you must have mastery over languages. In this country, as it is today, you must be fluent in English, you must be fluent in Hindi, and if you can know other important languages, like Bengali and like Tamil, and like Marathi and 3-4 languages in the south, 1 or 2 languages in the northeastern India, like Bengali and Assami and India. Well, you can go anywhere. You must have a knack of learning the language. Not only you know a particular language, but knack of learning a language. So, this is as it were a corollary to this art of presentation. Administration. Administration again, you will find that when you talk of administration, then the integral part of administration is correspondence. After all, what is presentation? You talk to the people. And what is correspondence? You talk to the people, you write it. The presentation is required in order that you make yourself intelligible to the people. You converse with people, you exchange your ideas with people, you convince them, you inspire them, make friends with them. That is the purpose of presentation. The same thing you do by correspondence. You will not be able to talk to a person in Calcutta. You can write to him. That is the way how you talk with a person at distance. Essentially, correspondence and presentation is talking. They are one and the same thing. When you think at close quarters, the other you do. When you do at close quarters, the other you do at long distance. So you must know how to write. Not only you must know how to speak, but you must also have the art of writing. You must be able to make yourself intelligible. Not only by talking, but by writing. So, this administration, this presentation, it also implies this correspondence. You must know how to correspond. And as I hinted in the beginning, that also means accounts. Because administration is incomplete without accounts. Anything you are required to administer, that means you must know the science of this accounting. All works, all service activities, ultimately they imply all these things. They imply all these things. The accounting you must know, the art of speaking you must know, the administration you must know, execution you must know, public contacts how to make you must know. And the whole daily program you so planned that slowly you become adept in all these things. There should be done along with your usual routine. You just cannot afford to just go somewhere and I will learn accounts for 6 months and I will learn the art of speaking for 6 months. This is not possible. And you utilize every opportunity to learn these things. Suppose there is an opportunity that somebody wants you to explain what is this Vivekananda Kendra. Then don't think that, well, no, this time I will not speak. I will speak next week. Opportunity has come, use the opportunity. Not for anything else, but in order that you get into that habit. You get that ability. Don't shun it. Opportunities are duties. Opportunities should be considered as duties. Because it is through opportunities that you elevate, that you acquire abilities. If you miss the opportunities, you will repent, because you will remain poorer. You will remain poorer. Opportunity makes you rich in virtues, in qualities, in qualifications, in abilities, faculties, in opportunities. Opportunities strengthen your shoulders. Opportunities make you more and more responsible. And you need opportunities. Thinking that, well, I will not be able to do this now, let me prepare, let me do this. As you are, you jump. Whatever may happen. When I was in Nagpur, I did not know any language except Marathi. At that time, Nagpur was not much in the All India map. Therefore, it was a Marathi town. So, we had no opportunity to learn it. Now, of course, Nagpur being in the center of the country, all people come there, and people get a chance to learn many languages, especially Hindi. Every person, every boy belonging to Nagpur now knows Hindi. There is an advantage. But that time, Even the public speeches were in Marathi. So we could not construct even one sentence in Hindi. Then when I came out of my home to work, and first I was asked to organize work in Madhya Pradesh, present Madhya Pradesh. At that time it was not Madhya Pradesh. Present Madhya Pradesh was, at that time was divided in two parts. One was Madhya Bharat and the other was Mahabhushan. So these two parts. And the other was Vindhya Pradesh. Vindhya Pradesh, Madhya Bharat and Mahabhushan. These were the three parts of present Madhya Pradesh. So I was put in charge of it. First I was fresh from the college, not much experience. And then one elderly person took me that I will introduce you. And he told me that you will have to, when I will introduce you, there will be a gathering of people, I will introduce you, you are so and so, that's how we have to work. After my introduction, then I will tell that now you can go and speak. And of course you will have to speak in Hindi because most people do not understand Marathi. I said, first of all I don't know how to speak. And that you are now telling me that I have to speak in Hindi. How is it possible? No, it's not possible. You take me this time, you only introduce, then I will watch, I will be there, I will study, and then next time when you take me, then I will speak. Is that right? I am telling you, I am not asking you. This you have to do. I will introduce you in 3 minutes, 4 minutes, and after that I will say that you will speak, and you will have to speak. You will speak for 5 minutes, you will speak for 10 minutes, you will speak for 2 minutes, and you stand and you can't speak and therefore you sit down, I don't mind. But I will say this and you will speak. And let us leave it to what happens. And I said, but I don't know Hindi at all. He said, the only thing I can do is, I can give you a dictionary. Marathi into Hindi. Or Hindi into Hindi. Because Mother Greek is there, so there is no difficulty for a Marathi man to understand it. So, the only thing I could do was to, no people were there to speak in Hindi. Because you want some people to speak in Hindi, so you can pick up Hindi in no time. But there are no people, all were speaking only Marathi around me. And they had no knowledge of Hindi. So with this Hindi Shabda Sagar, the book I remember, Hindi Shabda Sagar I took, and day and night I was struggling with it. And on the strength of that, I began to speak. God knows what must I have spoken. But then by the time I finished my tour of nearly 2 months, I gained confidence that I can speak English. This is how opportunities are beautiful. This is how opportunity makes you equal to the task. If you don't grumble and you come forward to use the opportunities. So, this presentation means administration, means knowledge of account keeping, means knowledge of management, means your capacity to correspond properly. All these things are included. A social worker means so many things. then you must have workable knowledge of languages, at least foreign languages. And to learn the language to be a pastime. When you have time, you must try to pick up language. When you have opportunity to learn a language, suppose you go and stay in say Assam for 1 month. Oh, that is the time. I must utilize this opportunity to learn the Assamese. I will not get this opportunity after. Whatever period I have got, 1 month, 2 months, I will learn this language. So this is how we have to charge the time by program. And immediately try to pick up our master. Language or whatever possible you can put into the atmosphere. So, while we are discussing the routine, there is another thing which I would like to tell you. That after all, what should be your image? What should be your image to the people? What people should understand you? They may understand you, Vivekananda Kendra worker. The Vivekananda Kendra worker, they may understand you, but they must understand you as an upright man, straightforward. One who is upright. That means who is free from guiles, wiles, tricks, treacheries. Straight man. Person who says what he means and who means what he says. Upright man. This should be your people. You may be Vivekananda Kendra worker, you may be very good Vivekananda Kendra worker, or you may not be capable Kendra worker, but you must be an upright man. Truthful man. A truthful man. In every sense of the term. In every sense of the term. If you say that I will come at such and such time, you will certainly come. And if he doesn't come, there must be accident to him. He must be terribly sick. The very fact that he has not come, that means he must be terribly sick, or he must have met with accident. Ordinarily he would not have heard it. The very fact that he has not come. When he said he would come. Such should be your reputation. You say one thing, and you forget conveniently about it. That shouldn't happen. When I say in every sense of the term, somebody writes to you later, you must respond. You must answer. If you promise certain thing, I will do certain thing, I will immediately after I will be there, I will do this. Do it. Take it as a word of honor. Honor your words. Honor your promises. There should not be a gap between what you say and what you do. Your reputation must go around that he is an upright man. If somebody writes a letter to you and you don't give an answer, what does it mean? When somebody writes, that means somebody wants to talk to you. Suppose somebody comes to talk to you and you turn your back to him. Will it be good manners? Somebody has come to talk to you and wants to enter the door so that he can talk to you, and you shut the door. Will it be good manners? not to write a letter, not to write a reply, is as bad mannerly as it is. You may not write a very elaborate reply, you may not have time to, you may cut short your thing, but you must respond as an upright man. A reasonable time. So when I say that you must be an upright man, in all senses of the term, that means you will be truthful. Don't give very liberal promises that you cannot fulfill. When you talk, you just wax eloquent and you say, I will do this, I will do this, I will, I'm immediate after reaching, I will do that, and you don't do anything. That is not correct. When you do appointment, honor that appointment. I will come to your place at such time. By all means you go. Don't give excuses. There was rain, and I did not get conveyance, and then this happened and that happened. You must see that you go. And there is absolutely unavoidable reason which anybody can understand that this man, in spite of all his efforts, he could not fulfill it. It is not humanly possible. But the effort should be that whatever you say, it has a value. And it must be okay. It must be honored. Suppose you write a letter. I'm going to Bombay. On the way at Solapur, I trained in a certain time, so you come and meet me. Suppose you write to your train. And suppose your train you miss, or for some reason you are not able to go. You conveniently forget that you have written a letter to Solapur, and that person will come to the station to see you. You have cancelled your program. Have you informed him? Conveniently forget. Don't at all think that the man will be in trouble. You will unnecessarily go to the station. Perhaps he may come along with some friends and he will be fooled. Who is responsible for it? Should not have taken care for it. Then you must mind if you have to send a telegram. You should not mind if you have to spend money for it. So, when I say you should be upright and you should be truthful, in all senses of the term, this means that you should be very careful even in small details. Even in small details. Now, the headquarters and the branch centers, you are working at a particular place. You must report to the headquarters. Every month you must write what you are doing, how far you have progressed, what are the difficulties. You must take into confidence your headquarters, your elders. You must not forget to send a report and also the accounts. It will never happen that you have been working there for the last 3-4 months and you have not cared to send your accounts. Certain things they are to reach monthly. A life worker, when he writes, you must always keep a copy. Whether it is and there is nothing like private letter. There is nothing like private letter. What is private? How is life worker? the life work. It is coextensive with the whole life. There is nothing beyond life. Life workers mean total work. Private life and Kendra life is the same. Only perhaps the private life will come to a certain extent only if he gets married. Then there is a small segment where privacy may come between him and his wife or him, her and her husband. But otherwise, there is no private life in your life. Whatever he writes to his friend, whatever he writes to his co-worker. If I am working at Kanyakumari, if I am my other co-worker and colleague in my batch, he works in Calcutta. I write a letter to him. No private letter. Nothing private. It is a letter written from one co-worker, one worker to another worker. And your letter is to write in such a way that it can be read in public. It can be read in public. It can be put on your notice board. You must have the habit of writing such things. That I may be writing, one person writing to another person, one friend writing to another person, but then ordinarily nobody will be interested in seeing it. But suppose this letter is seen by anybody, read by anybody, you should have no objection. Anybody can read it. If you make left-handed comments about somebody, if you write nastily about somebody, then you have objection. Why should you write? So you have the habit of writing such letters which can be made public. No harm. If I am writing a letter to X, and in that letter I am trying to write about Y. If Y happens to read it, you should have no objection. You should write in such a way that Y also can read it. I have not said anything. I am not very left-handed on it. If it had come to, I would have said on its face. Be straightforward in this manner. Therefore I say, don't rise above these guiles, wild streaks, treacheries, and all double talk. Straight. Not talking ill about others. Mind your business. Do good. If you take a vow that I shall never talk ill of it, never talk ill of it, you will achieve. We find that you will be ajata shakti. You will be common factor to all. If you can but achieve this small thing, not to talk ill about it. If you want to talk something about somebody, talk on his face to him. It will be bad. So therefore, I am stressing this point. You may be a good Kendra worker, you may be a competent Kendra worker, you may be a successful Kendra worker. That may come later. You be an upright man, a good friend. In all your dealings. soul. I have covered a lot of the what you are supposed to do, how you have to plan your routine, what are the important things you take care of, and ultimately what should be the Falashruti, what should be the upshot of your daily life, what image should emerge for the people by your behavior. That also. So, at the beginning, we may have question answer session. All this that I have talked to the course of the last event in last series. And then, after this meeting, tomorrow and the day after, there is meeting of the Empires here. So I will be free after 27th or 28th. Then I will take the closing session before we go to speaking.